What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski and I am back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we're going to be doing a playthrough video of the brand new Fortnite that has arrived on One Piece Treasure Cruise Global, being the World Pirates Fortnite event. So let's go ahead, and before we get into this, let's go ahead and have a look at the drops that you can get. Now, you can actually get all of the 3 pirate characters that are on Brindy World's crew, which is pretty cool. You have, I believe the names are Sebastian, you have Guy Ram, and Nightin. So those are the 3 characters you can get. Also, the hidden boss for this dungeon is a Boa character. Now, we're actually going to go through all of these units and what they do after we actually beat the dungeon itself. So make sure to stick around for that if you guys want to know what they do. And then the obtainable manuals you can get. Kind of funny, the low rate drop for this Fortnite is one of the Celestial Dragon units. Now, their special isn't really that good, so, you know, you can save them if you really want to, but they aren't that good as specials, honestly, and you're never really going to use those characters. So, that is the low rate skill book drop. You have Koala as well, so if you guys weren't able to max her out previously, you can go ahead and do that now. Don Chin Jiao is actually an awesome debut skill book here. Also, you have the Funk Brothers, and you also have Abdullah and Jeet. All those characters have actually pretty interesting specials, and you probably want to go ahead and max those guys out. And other units, you know, you got Hottery and Kottery. You have the Strength evolution of CP9 Rob Lucci. You also have the Hidden Boss Boa skill books available here as well, and also some Fishman dude, I believe he's from Sub-Odi, I think. But then you can also obtain just the green evolvers and the green boosters and some cola as well. So let's get straight into it. So the team that I am going to be using in this video is a 5-star plus Zoro team. Now, this team's like something that I just created, and it's actually pretty good. I haven't had too many issues whatsoever. There's only like one room in the dungeon that you really cannot beat in a single turn. I have tried different ways of doing it, but this is the team that we're running. So we are running the double Zoro with the rare recruit Smoker. This one can be substituted out with the other Smoker if you guys have it as well. You have Law and Apu, which is a really nice combination. Law and Apu give you a full board of matching orbs, and then we also have Bellamy from story mode, who will go ahead and give us an orb boost. Now, there is no need to go ahead and bring a type booster to this dungeon, because the preemptive attack of the first room is Boa Hancock, and she'll go ahead and give you a type boost for your crew. I believe it's only a 50% boost or something like that. But also, something that I forgot to mention as well, the condition for this Fortnite dungeon is you can only bring a crew that has 180 cost or less, including your friend captain. So you do have to build a team with units that are not that high of cost, so it means that bringing legends and raid bosses isn't really recommended, as they have a really high cost. So you do have to try and keep your costs down for this dungeon. But really, for the first, I think it's like 5 or 6 stages, it's basically fodder characters and, you know, nothing really much else. So these first few stages are very simple, and then once we get to like stage 6, 7, and 8, I believe it is, those are the boss stages. So there are 3 bosses that you have to take on in this dungeon: Guy Ram, Nightin, and Sebastian. Now, the hidden boss Boa is actually really awesome. When you do encounter her, she'll go ahead and lock your chain multiplier to 2.5 times for like 2 or 3 turns, and she'll lock your orbs for like 2 or 3 turns and give you a full board of matching orbs. So Boa, you definitely want to encounter Boa as much as you possibly can in this dungeon, as she does help you a lot and makes clearing the final boss room really easy. So this is like the only stage that I really have trouble with clearing in one turn. I probably could have done it there, but I did miss my perfect, so that's fine here. But when we actually get to the first hidden boss, which is on the 6th floor, that is Sebastian. Let's go ahead and discuss him when he does appear on the screen. But as I said, basically fodder characters all up until that point in time. Now, the rare recruit, not the rare recruit, the hidden boss Boa is only obtainable on stage 7. That's the only stage you can actually encounter her. But here we have on stage 6, we have Sebastian. So his preemptive attack will go ahead and halve the attack of fighter type characters for 3 turns. So I would highly recommend not to bring too many fighter type characters, as you know they're going to be getting less of an attack boost against Sebastian himself. And this guy's actually pretty tanky, so I would highly recommend bringing a couple of Dex units to do a lot of damage to this guy. So really easy to take down there. Now we found the hidden boss Boa, which is actually pretty crazy. Boa is just absolutely amazing. The hidden boss Boa, as I mentioned before, locks your orbs for 2 turns, gives you full board matching orbs, and will go ahead and lock your chain multiplier to 2.5 times. However, if you do encounter Nightin, which is the female character, she will go ahead and do some preemptive damage to you, And then when she falls below 50% health, she'll go ahead and blind you for 3 turns. So you do have to be careful about that. Here is Gyram, the hidden boss, not the hidden boss, the final boss of this dungeon. Now this guy here will go ahead and apply a 2-hit perfect barrier for the next 3 turns. So because we have the full border matching orbs, we don't need to activate Law or Apu. We can actually use Zora here, even though it doesn't actually do anything. But when he gets below 70% HP, he will randomly convert your orbs. And when he randomly converts your orbs, you do have a chance to get bother orbs, in that conversion. So you do have to be careful about that. And if he falls below 70 or 50%, he will go ahead and apply a defensive shield for the next 3 turns. Now this final stage can actually be kind of interesting because you can encounter a boss stage which does have all 3 of the units, being Gyram, Sebastian, and Knighton, all on this one last stage. So that can also occur on this dungeon as well. But with our specials active, we shouldn't have too many issues with dealing enough damage to take down this guy in a single turn. Nice and easy Fortnite with this team. So now that we've gone ahead and actually beaten this dungeon, let's go ahead and break down all of the 4 units, the 4 brand new units that this Fortnite does introduce, and yeah, we'll see whether or not they're actually worth trying to farm for. So let's go ahead to our character box and have a look at these units. So the first one that we are going to have a look at is Knighton. So Knighton's captain ability will go ahead and boost the attack and recovery of cerebral characters by 1.5 times, which isn't a good captain ability. And his special ability, which will max at 11 turns, will reduce paralysis and bind duration by 2 turns, and then deal 10 times her attack inside damage to one enemy. So in most cases, you don't really need to use a character like this. Reducing paralysis is actually not too bad, but there are some characters that already do that as their sailor ability, so it really just does depend on your team, but in most cases you don't really need to use a unit like this. So next we're going to go and have a look at Sebastian. So Sebastian here is a character that is a powerhouse striker. He's a quick unit, and his captain ability will boost the attack of powerhouse characters by 2 times and reduce damage received based on the current HP remaining up to 20%. So the lower your HP, the more damage reduction that you actually get. So when you're at half HP, you're going to be getting 10% reduction, and then it gets lower. So the lower your HP, the higher damage reduction you're going to be getting. So that is that. And his special ability, which maxes at 10 turns, reduces damage received by 50% for 1 turn and changes his own orb into quick. So there might be some instances where this guy might be used, I would think. He's not a terrible unit. Probably not going to be used that much, but I could definitely see some specific dungeons that would have a niche, kind of use for this guy. So in some cases, he could be useful, but more often than not, you're probably just going to be using a different unit altogether for that spot. Here we have the final boss character, Gyram. Gyram's captain ability will boost the attack of all characters by 2.5 times, following a chain of a quick unit, a psi unit, and then a dex unit. And with those units, you have to make sure you are hitting your attacks no lower than good. So they have to be either good, great, or perfect in a quick, psi, and dex order. Then you get 2.5 times attack. So not a good captain ability, really. But his special ability is kind of interesting. So it deals 5 hits of 2,000 fixed damage to random enemies and reduce any damage received above 5,000 by 80% for 1 turn. So he's actually a really nice damage reducer. Can have some niche uses in some teams. Not going to be used that often, but as I said, can be used in some teams with some sort of niche use against a specific dungeon. But now we're going to talk about this fine lady right here, Boba Hancock, Amazon Lily Princess. Let's go ahead and talk about her. So her captain ability will boost the attack of all characters by 2.5 times after you get 3 perfects in a row. So it's kind of like a nerfed version of Gear 3 Luffy. Not really that great. And his special ability is what makes her very, very interesting. So it locks all orbs for 1 turn. And then if your HP is below 30%, it will change her own orb and the captain's orb into matching. So not a terrible unit. Orb lockers aren't that really used that often in One Piece Treasure Cruise, but to have one like this who is a shooter character and a free spirit character is very, very interesting. In most cases, in a free spirit team, you're probably going to be using Leo if you need to use an orb locker. But Boa isn't too bad. She can go ahead and give herself and the captain a matching orb in some different circumstances as long as you're below 30% HP. So not a terrible unit whatsoever, and can also be used to socket out your legend legend boa as well. So if you guys are yet to do that, like myself, then you can go ahead and use this boa for that as well. But that is going to conclude this video, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you guys did, make sure to smack the like button down below. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.